Hello and welcome to the TCM delayed commentary of Nottingham Forest against Liverpool from the City Ground. Should be an absolute cracker of a game, this one. There's no question about that. We should be in for a real cracker. And of course, we've got the Rainbow Laces weekend, of course, to promote LGBTQ. Their supporters as well, and I think it's a good thing to do. But there's the captain for the day, Ryan Yates, of Nottingham boy, born and bred. And you look at the Liverpool lineup, all in grey. They've got a formidable lineup led today by James Milner. Jordan Henderson's amongst the substitutes as the teams emerge from the tunnel, led by referee Paul Tierney from Wigan. And to a raucous reception from Nottingham Forest and their supporters here at the City Ground. Should be a cracking game. Proper football stadium. And I can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday lunchtime than down on the banks of the River Trent for a game that really has so much history and, of course, prestige. Just the eight European Cup winners between them. Forest winning two of them, and, of course, Liverpool the 6. A great old traditional fixture. Well, the edges, of course, they were both involved in that terrible disaster at Hillsborough when they were the two sides that day in that ill-fated FA Cup semi-final on the 15th of April 1989. So there's some poignancy to this fixture, of course. And, of course, it was a sad day when 97 people lost their lives and went to a football game and never came over. Anyway, let's get back to the present. And Nottingham Forest with Dean Henderson in goal. Sergio Aurier, Steve Cook, Scott McKenna, Nico Williams at the back. Ryan Yates, Remo Fryer, Chick Quixote in the midfield. Morgan Gibbs-White, Awoni and Lingard up front. On the bench, Hennessy, Bicon, Bolly, Rowell, Lodi, Mangala, Johnson Dennis and Sam Surridge. For Liverpool, their lineup is as follows. Alisson in goal, James Milner, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson across the back. Harvey Elliott, Fabinho and Curtis Jones and Fabio Carvalho in the midfield, with Bo Salah and Roberto Firmino, we believe, a front two. Adrian Cahella, they're both goalkeepers. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Nathaniel Phillips, Stefan Bajcetic, Kostas Tsimikas, Jordan Henderson, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Bobby Clark are the substitutes. And so 4-4-2. James Milner will slot in at right back. And so it means Trent Alexander-Arnold stays out. So James Milner gets a rare start for Liverpool, mainly coming on as a substitute as Klopp rings the changes. And it's also worth noting that Liverpool do have a chronic injury list. No Diaz, no Matip, no Keita, no Konate, no Darwin Núñez. And Thiago, who could have played today, has had to drop out with an ear infection. In fact, he went to a local hospital to be checked out. Dean Henderson is the goalkeeper for Forest. No win in their last 9. Can they get a result and kickstart their season? They could go conceivably on level with points with Wolves, but they'd only go up a place off the bottom. They'll still be in the relegation zone, but they'd be level on points with Wolves and Villa, their fellow Midlands teams, if they won today. The sun is beating down. I'm just looking at Steve Cooper there. Signed a new 3-year contract. Barrett, there was talk of him leaving the club, but I think that was probably all pie in the sky and all nonsense now when you look at how well they still speak about him now. First man to take Forest to the Premier League since Dave Bassett, I think, in 1998. Jurgen Klopp there, 2 wins and a week. Paul Tierney from Wigan is the referee. And he's assisted by Constantine Azazakis and Tim Wood. These are the 2 officials. Graham Scott is Graham Scott's the 4th official from Oxfordshire, and Mike Dean from the Wirral. Yes, he may retire from refereeing, but he's still old enough to do the old VAR. He's the man down at Stockley Park. Though a key things around this famous old City Ground. Nottingham Forest, not Notts Forest, because if I say that during the commentary, I know a certain would kill me. We'll get us underway in the Gabaldi red. Attacking the Bridgeford end, away to my right-hand side. And off we go then. Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. A game for the ages is underway. And what a match it promises to be. What a way to kickstart kickstart the Premier League weekend with a commentary game here at the start of a busy 2 months for us at the TC Hub, when all things are worked out that Nottingham Forest could shock the world. Liverpool haven't won away this season, which I find rather baffling in a lot of ways. But as you said, I read out the injury list, and then to add to it, no Diego Jota either. So you've got looking at 6-7 key players for Liverpool in their squad that are out, and it says a lot when Jurgen Klopp has to do a Sean Dyche and name 2 goalkeepers on his bench. Both Gahela and Adrian are named as substitutes. So this shows how much they've had to dig into the strength. Of course, losing Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich hasn't helped matters. Anyway, here's Belder down that side. Looks for Elliott. Infield to Salah. Ball knocked away there by Chikiati. And big Tayano Awani will have a real opportunity to shine. I will get his pronunciation correct as the afternoon goes on. I've been practicing that pronunciation in the warm-up before the game, before we came on air, just before the kickoff. And the ball back to somebody I can't pronounce, Dean Henderson. It's away right-footed. Curtis Jones, and pushed to the ground there by Ryan Yates, the Nottingham Forest skipper for the day. Joe Warren's the actual club captain, but he's amongst the substitutes. Steve Cooper, though, what a job he's done. And apparently his father, the former referee, Keith Cooper, who refereed Forest, I'm sure at some point when they were a top flight side, is in the ground to watch his son in action, watch his son today. Hopefully lead Forest. Hopefully they think they'll lead Forest to victory. Liverpool will be a tricky prospect. There's no doubt about that. They're a good side, have good players, and I would wager that the fact that they do have a lot of talent in abundance. Ball not forward, infield again. So we're trying to turn. Can't, runs into traffic, and here goes Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White turning nicely, does really well. Morgan Gibbs-White tries to play the ball through the eye of the needle. It goes out of play for a throw-in, and it means now Liverpool will get the throw. The Nottingham Forest will get the throw. Sergio Aurier to take, former Tottenham player. The Forest fans bang up for that one. The atmosphere around the City ground is something to behold here. It's there was a good 29,000 inside the City ground this afternoon. Should be one hell of an atmosphere here today. Aurier's throw into Ironi. Back to Aurier again. And Troyer gets it back. And Steve Cook is there. So too is Scott McKenna. He's played every minute of every game under Steve Cooper since he's been at the club. We'll have a present for Nottingham Forest. In this Premier League meeting, you have to go back to April 1999. It finished 2-2. Dougie Freeman and Pierre Van Hooydonk for Nottingham Forest. It was also the season earlier that season. Pierre Van Hooydonk had gone on strike for some unaccountable reason. Came back, even though Forest were getting relegated, came back. They got a creditable draw. I think they were already relegated by then anyway, because they were rock bottom at the time. Ron Atkinson was the manager then. And Gerard Houllier was the Liverpool manager. Their scorers that day, Jamie Redknapp and Michael Owen. I wonder what happened to those two as Aurier goes down under challenge from Curtis Jones. And a free kick to Forest. And we'll just have to see what Forest can cook up here. Morgan Gibbs-White looks like he's coming across to take it. Jesse Lingard just giving him the ball now. And this is where Forest have got to make it count set plays. They know Liverpool are going to have at least 80%, 75-80% of possession. So it's imperative really that Forest can try and get something maybe from set plays or on the counter-attack. Here's Gibbs-White, steps up to the ball, sends it into the penalty area, knocked away once more. Chase on here for Harvey Elliott, and then the ball thumped down the field, looking towards the run of Mo Salah here. Salah takes it down. Looked like he with a hand, but it was definitely with the chest, according to the assistant. It will be a Liverpool throw. 5 minutes gone, 0-0 on the TCL delay. Commentary of Nottingham Forest against Liverpool from the Premier League. Harvey Elliott now in possession. Gets the ball back to Joe Gomez. Gomez finds Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk turns again. Lovely football this time from Liverpool. Just reading between the lines. Good play again. He's a good crossing there towards Mo Salah, but the ball was snuffed out again. Awoni chasing for that one, and he gets possession there. Awoni, the big bulky centre forward for Nottingham Forest. And here's James Milner now, the Liverpool captain for the day. Jordan Henderson on the bench, the normal Liverpool club captain. Jurgen Klopp with a brisk smile, and he's not taking any chances. It's quite sunny, but it is actually quite mild for this time of year as we now go into the latter stages of October. World Cup only a month away now, and we'll have comprehensive commentary coverage of that on the TCO for you next month, starting next month, of course, and we finish on the 18th of December, I think. Some 7 days before the big day, Christmas Day. Here's Virgil van Dijk coming forward. Looks for Curtis Jones. Jones on his turn. And Jones again. Maybe Firmino there, one of the top scorers with 8 goals. One behind Salah, who's got 9. And 2 players that are out are 5 and 4, Diaz and Nunes respectively. So this shows the top 2 for Liverpool, if it is a front 2. Salah and Firmino scored no fewer than 17 goals between them this season. So that illustrates the task in hand for Forest. And Salah and Firmino are in the form of their life. Salah scoring the winning goal last week against Manchester City. And Liverpool then winning a tight game with West Ham, who count themselves very unlucky not to grab a point on Wednesday night from Anfield. Dean Henderson in possession there. Forest attacking the Bridgeford end, as I said, in the first half. Liverpool the Trent. Forest like to attack the Trent in the second half, remember. And both teams attacking the same ends as they did earlier on this year when they met in the FA Cup. Won by a goal by Diego Jota after 78 minutes that day. But Liverpool were very unfortunate, or rather Forest were very unfortunate not to force extra time, and they felt they should have had a penalty for a potential penalty, but VAR at the time turned it down. And of course, we have VAR in operation today. It could be for some fun with Mike Dean at the helm, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I can tell you, Forest supporters, he's not despite the fact that he's from the Wirral, he's not a Liverpool or Everton supporter. He's a Tranmere Rovers supporter. So you may well be saved your bushes on the old biasness, but we'll just have to wait and see. I can confirm he's a Tranmere Rovers supporter, Mr. Dean on VAR. Anyway, here's Harvey Elliott chipping it forward, looking towards the run here, and a chance here, and a good save to deny Fabio Carvalho, who made a terrific dart by Dean Henderson. It was a lovely ball over the top here from Harvey Elliott. Got his head up, played the ball in, definitely onside. He was at least a couple of yards on Carvalho, but found Dean Henderson too much of a tough nut to crack. He came out, narrowed the angle, and the ball ricocheted off his left leg and behind for a corner. So the first big chance comes after 9 minutes for Fabio Carvalho. Liverpool corner to be taken here by Robertson from the left-hand side. In it goes. It will be nodding the behind of, I think it was Ryan Yates for another corner to Liverpool again. Again, plenty forward in Gabaldi red. And the wind there's a stiff breeze as well, which could help later on in the game. Of course, it's quite bright sunshine, so Dean Henderson has got the cap on just to help with visibility. You can see just beaming down right on his goal. Well, as I can see anyway. Here comes Belder with the corner. In towards Firmino, heads wide. Massive chance there for Liverpool. There are 2 massive chances in the space of 75 to 80 seconds. So I think Steve Cook just did enough to put him off inside that 6-yard area. 10 minutes gone. 0-0. A very good game though in the making as the ball comes out towards Elliott. Elliott has the possession. Finds Curtis Jones. Infield again to Salah. Tries to link up with the play and it's out of play. It will be a Forest ball. Forest get the decision. Well, Curtis Jones there, real form really when you think about it. But they've got some good players in their ranks, Forest. They've had to reinforce the squad. 22 players they've brought in. So a really revamped squad from the one that won promotion last season. Here's Morgan Gibbs right leading the charge. Lingard's in support. It might break to Awoni inside the penalty area or just inside the penalty area. Breaks away. Here comes Carvalho now for Liverpool. Goes back to Jones. Jones on his turn to Van Dijk. And again, just patient build-up from Liverpool. No silly stuff with them. They've looked a real good prospect. Now, in Premier League all-time games at the City Ground, Liverpool have won none out of the 5 played. There have been 3 draws and 2 Forest wins. So it tells you everything you need to know that they do not enjoy coming to the City Ground. And of course, they've had some notable defeats in First Division football before it became the Premier League. Yes, kids, as we see Milner being found there by Canati. Yes, football did not start in 1992. 1991, however, when they were going for the First Division Championship with Arsenal, they had to come here to get a result, of course, to stop Arsenal from winning the league that night. They were playing Manchester United the same night. And Ian Wone scored the decisive goal, which won Arsenal the league that year. And a terrific shot from just outside, just to the left of the penalty area with the right foot, which sailed into the back of the back of the net at the Trent end, and gave Arsenal the league title in 1991. A repeat today would be very much on Steve Cooper's mind. Forest in those days were managed by the great Brian Clough, of course. We like to battle or two with Liverpool. There was that famous League Cup final in '78, that replay where Liverpool disputed long into that Phil Thompson's foul was outside the area, but Forest was given the penalty. John Robertson stuck it away, and there was a bit of blood between them. And then the next season, they met each other in the European Cup. Forest winning on aggregate 2-0. The ball back with Allison, who has to head it under pressure from Awoni. And at the moment, Forest being committed, and Lingard putting his body in the way there on the far touchline. And then there's a silly foul by Konate on Elliott, and a free kick has been given to Liverpool. 13 gone, still 0-0 here. Delay commentary on the TCR, but here are the platforms, YouTube platforms. We're on TCR, JB Sports, Storm FM, and TCR2. We're also on Twitch. And if you want to check out our Twitter handle, the Twitter address is at Commentary Live 1. Commentary Live 1. And my personal and my own actual Twitter handle is at JB Sports 11. If you want to follow me on Twitter. Combination of football tweets, Burnley fan, and commentating stuff and everything else. So, follow me there. It's JB John Stuttard in the commentary box as Virgil van Dijk has possession. Still 0-0 if you've just joined us for delayed commentary on the TCR. Where have you been? And I could watch this. Here's Van Dijk in possession to Fabinho. Fabinho now to James Milner, standing skipper for the day because no Jordan Henderson, he's on the bench. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the first choice right back, is on the bench as well. Given a rest by Klopp because of what's going on. As Van Dijk sprays a lovely ball out towards the far side here. And Harvey Elliott gets possession. He's a good cross though. No, he plays it inside there to Salah. Salah trying to turn. Salah trying to go back. It's gone a little bit backwards here. Virgil van Dijk keeps possession, however, and feeds Curtis Jones. Jones sprays the play out towards the far side, but can't be found. And here come Forest again. Looking to break very quickly. Fabinho is there. Gets it out once more. And the challenger's coming in thick and fast. Elliott goes down. Quarter of an hour played. Still 0-0. And Forest now looking to putting the challenges at this precise moment in time, but it's very difficult at the moment. But there's Gomez in possession. Picks out Van Dijk. Van Dijk has to cut back in field. Interested to see how this really does develop as the game intensifies a little bit later on in the piece. Van Dijk again in possession. Fabinho back again. It's been a non-stop first half thus far, where the game has come thick and fast, and been an interesting watch so far. Van Dijk in possession, looking to Fabinho, gets it out to the far side. Now then, real opportunity here for Fabinho to stretch his legs, but the ball beats him out of play, and it will be a goal kick. 16 gone, 0-0. We've had a first half first half so far that's been very memorable. Mainly Liverpool have had a lot of possession, 70-30 there in percentages in possession. So again, it illustrates that it's not going to be an easy ride here. As Forest get possession, good ball to Jesse Lingard. Gives White and Awoni further forward, and he was trying to look for the run of Awoni, and in the end, Liverpool had enough go to get it away. Oh, dear me, that was a risky ball from Alisson. He got away with it, and in fact, a Liverpool free kick's been given. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on, and Paul Tierney on top of it straight away, and Awoni trying to stop Joe Gomez taking a quick free kick. In fact, Gomez had pitched a few yards anyway, so Paul Tierney, quick as lightning, diffused the situation rather well there. I thought the referee did well. Often I turn that about Paul Tierney, is it? Here's Curtis Jones in possession. Has to turn away from the advances of Freuer. And now Van Dijk in possession. Still 0-0. Patient build up this from Liverpool. Good ball out towards the far side from Gomez. Milner in a bit of space. In comes the run of Firmino. Firmino has to track back, however. Comes back once again to Milner. Oh, nice little back heel, but comes to nothing in the end, I'm afraid, and it's out for a goal kick. It's a seal of approval, however, from Jurgen Klopp. Here's Steve Cooper. There's a school of thought, really, in Forest, really, that in Nottingham, that he's a tremendous sort of manager, Steve Cooper. They think a load of him here at the City Ground, took them up against all the odds. They were bottom when he took over in the Championship last year, and took them on a real adventure, especially in the second half of the season, and run to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Some say very unlucky not to reach the semis that year. Last year, and then of course they got to Wembley in the playoffs and won them against Huddersfield. Here's Morgan, gives wide into the area, and while he turns, there's a big chance here for the shot from Konate, and he hits it straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Best move that Forest have fashioned in this game so far, and Morgan gives White was at the hub of it here. He gets the ball on the right hand side, played a lovely ball in there to Awoni, he played it back to Konate, just maybe scuffed it a little bit, but still a nice move there from Nottingham Forest. And I've really sort of got the game going here now. As Robertson now. Maybe they're just coming to it a bit more, Forest, in this last sort of 4 or 5 minutes. Anyway, Fabinho's in possession. Joe Gomez has to trot forward this time. Looks to the run here. Good ball in behind. Curtis Jones will reach it. Jones in the penalty area, and it's muffled out. It's a corner. Mo Salah was there. But again, Forest playing with real style and real vigour at this stage of the proceedings. Flag stayed down. And the ball knocked back. It was just, well, in the end, too inviting, but it is a corner. Robertson now to swing it in. We've played nearly 20 minutes of the first half. Where's it? Oh, God. Gone quick as lightning. Here comes Robertson into the area. It missed everybody inside that Forest penalty box. And in the end, Jesse Lingard hooked it out for a throw to Liverpool midway inside the Forest half. Which Harvey Elliott's going to take. Where's he going to leave it? Going to leave it for James Milner, I fancy. There it is. James Milner will take it. 0-0. If you've just joined us on all the TCF platforms, I think we're in for a real crackaroonie today. And here is Fabinho on the ball. Can he get the move going again for Forest? For Liverpool. The dream is alive for Liverpool if they can just do it again. They've picked up well, as I say, 2 wins, unconvincing wins. It wasn't really that convincing against Manchester City, but to be fair, on the night, last Sunday, they did get their A game out when they needed to. It is tough going, though, and here is Gomez in possession. Just need to calm things down a little bit here and just try and make sure that nothing untoward happens here. And in the next sort of 2 months, we've got a lot of good stuff coming up on the TCB. I'll just tell you a little bit about the content that we've got coming your way. We do have live football on Monday night for you. We've got West Ham against Bournemouth. That'll be live with me hosting and Russ Burning commentating. We'll be on the air around about 7:45 Monday night. So join me and Russ then for that if you can. Here's Sergio Aurier now, infield again to Gibbs White, and he loses possession, and the ball comes off. Gibbs White, Robinson's ball comes off. So for a throw anyway to Liverpool. Right, so just to remind you what's coming up in the next 2 months on the TCB up until Christmas. We've got Premier League commentaries. We've got EFL commentaries. Burnley and Norwich will be a delayed commentary on Tuesday night. I'll be at the turf doing that one for you. And then, so we've got a bit of EFL. We've got the EFL Cup last third round, of course. That's coming up in early November. And then we've got the early stages of the FA Cup, the first round. We've got several key ties. And I can tell you that Forest Green will be featured against, and South Shields will be featured. So will Torquay as well, and Bracknell Town. So some of the non-league clubs involved there, you'll hear on the TCB. Ball knocked in there towards the penalty area. Carvalho attacks it, and the header goes wide. Halfway through the first half, still goals here. Delayed commentary of this game on the TCB. And then there'll be more Premier League football then. There'll be a bit of women's football as well with Nicholas Jones as well when England play two more friendly games in the build-up to the Women's World Cup next year. Nicholas Jones will be over them for you on the TCB. And Nicholas and myself and Russ and Mike and Paul, Trevor and Chris Whiteman, hopefully, will all be part, and Luke Turton, we'll all be coming together to bring you the sights and sounds of the World Cup, the first ever Winter World Cup taking place in Qatar. Our coverage starts on the 20th of November with the host first match. Help move things up. So, and of course, we'll have every England game commentated on for you. And of course, we'll have the final on the 18th of December for you. And then we'll be back to league action after Christmas. Ball over the top, looking towards Firmino, who wins the ball there, not once, but twice. And that's good play there by Gibbs White, number 7, Nico Williams, up against his offside. In fact, Gibbs White and Taibo Awani are both ex-Liverpool players. Awani never made an appearance for Liverpool, incidentally. Nico Williams made a few Premier League and FA Cup appearances. I think he made the old Champions League appearance. I'm not quite sure, but they'd love to put one on there for the clubs. Awani has spoken about how Liverpool gave him his chance to become a professional footballer, despite the fact that he never made an appearance for Liverpool in his time at Anfield. So it's that's pretty respectful. Most footballers would have tried to put one on their side if they weren't getting a chance. So you've got to applaud. You've got to applaud them for that. Anyway, here comes Forest in possession with number 26 on the ball. Scott McKenna, one of the centre-backs, tries to get Awani on his way. He's kept it in well. He's faced by Joe Gomez on that far side, far left-hand side. Awani cuts inside the area. Awani shoots, but he's hit it tamely with his right-footed. Just P-rolls across the ground, and Allison can roll gently rather across the ground, and Allison can take possession. Still 0-0. 25 minutes now exactly played in the first half. All action this, but still a long way to go yet in this game. Anything could happen in the next 65 minutes, as they used to say. Steve Imagine they used to say the next half hour back in those days. Been an interesting first 25 minutes where it's just jousted here and there. We're inside the final 20 minutes plus injury time at the end of the first, as we now go towards the end of the business end of the first half. As Elliott plays a 1-2. Milner now darts to Firmino Roa, darts towards the area, taking up a bit of a deeper position. No handball against Fryer. Liverpool were claiming handball, but it wasn't going to be given in a month for Sunday. Morgan Gibbs White has to go back to Steve Cook, the former Bournemouth player. And now Dean Henderson gives it a big welly with the right boot. Well over halfway, but Milner read the situation easily and gets the ball back to Alisson, the Liverpool hero, on Wednesday night when he saved that Jared Bowen penalty when Liverpool sort of struggled in a way to a 1-0 victory over West Ham. But they had to win ugly that night. In fact, they won ugly against Manchester City too. Mo Salah in imperious form that night, and Van Dijk heads it uncharacteristically out of play for a throw-in to Nottingham Forest about 10 yards inside the Liverpool half on the right-hand channel. But no, it's been good watch. Really enjoyed bringing this game to you live, delayed on the TC Hub. I hope you enjoyed the commentary too. Right, yeah, it's in possession. Good ball out towards Jesse Lingard if he can be found. Lingard has kept it in, has to keep his balance, and he did well. He was under no pressure from any Liverpool players. Aurier's with a cross towards the back post where Kanati was waiting, and Alisson had to get a little paw on that and did just enough. Forest have won it back, still inside Liverpool's territory. Here's Fryer now playing a ball in there towards Lingard, but he loses possession this time. And away comes James Milner for Liverpool, Robert Robertson for Liverpool. Ball up forward towards Steve Cook, who gets away from Mo Salah, knocks it back over halfway. Van Dijk intercepts midway inside his own half. Admittedly under no great pressure, to be fair. And here's Fabinho. Game just being slowed down a tad here. And that's nice. That's nicely played. And I just feel at this point, Nottingham Forest just need to get the rain game going a touch here. We've had 27 minutes of pure, unadulterated excitement, which has been, in the main, quite frankly, enjoyable. It has to be said. Still don't know it. If you've joined us on the all TCF platforms, it's nice to have you with us. Gomez in possession. Finds Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk sprays a nice little ball out there to Robertson. On in turn it goes, and a good challenge there by Cook. Had to get everything in it and more. And Yates down for Forest. And Aurier now in possession. Back to Ryan Yates, the skipper. Plays a lovely ball out towards Morgan Gibbs White on the far side. On halfway. Tries to get Jesse Lingard free on that far side. Lingard trying to chase the lost cause. It's out of play, but the idea again was there. Just the execution from Gibbs White was lacking, but I could see the idea was good. And that, I think, is a measure of what Steve Cooper is trying to do on the training ground with these lads. They are a new squad. They are fresh to the Premier League. Well, some of them have played the Premier League with the likes of Aurier and people like that before Steve Cook as well. Here's Jesse Lingard, an experienced player, but the referee's whistle has gone. There's a flag up for offside there from the assistant there. 2 yards offside, as it turned out. Steve Cooper knew it straight away. Good to see our linesman actually spotting the fact that he's offside and putting the flag up straight away. Good to see from the two assistants. And that is an indication that maybe the officials want the game to flow as much as they can. Salah with a shot! And straight down the throat of Dean Henderson. It was just inside the box as he shot right-footed, but he hit it very tamely. Mo Salah, but it was an easy save for Dean Henderson. It wasn't a save that wasn't one of those miracle saves that he would have been required to make normally. It was helped from the fact that the shot was so badly scuffed, really. And now here's Fabinho now on the ball. Laid the ball in, and then the ball knocked away. And Awoni now for Forest. Onto Morgan gives White, and Awoni has made a good burst forward. And here he goes. He's got Jesse Lingard in support to his left. Here's Jesse Lingard for Forest. It's it straight down the goalkeeper's throat, right-footed. And he hit left-footed. He hit it so well there, Jesse Lingard. It was a terrific hit. But it was an easy save for Alisson, who was perfectly placed and positioned to get behind the shot. He hit that with a lot of ferocity, maybe not as ferocious as he would have liked, Jesse Lingard, but the good break from Forest. Awoni put a lovely weighted through ball. He hits his first time here, Lingard, maybe leaning back as he strikes it. He strikes it well, but it's an easy save for Alisson, who caught it really, really well. 31 minutes played. Nottingham Forest now, Liverpool now on the TCM on all platforms. Delayed commentary. I hope you enjoyed it at home when this goes out later on. It's the ball is into the path of Firmino, chips it forward to Salah. Salah inside the box goes down. I think he goes down rather too easily. He is injured though. Maybe it was just a coming together. That's definitely a free kick right on the edge of the area. Harvey Elliott fell, but Liverpool have an injury with both Salah. And Reyes just saying, well, he went for he was looking for that. Was there a foul there? Nothing in that for me. I think he probably just forward awkwardly there. So I don't think there was any simulation going on. And then Milner was fouled by Nico Williams. Two former Liverpool colleagues combining to bring one bringing the other down. And Salah looks as if he is in some serious pain. I think it was just a coming together, and he just came off worse. There was never a doubt that it was never going to be a penalty. I don't think there was any doubt about that. There was no real complaints with Liverpool players at that specific time, so we can assume it's not a penalty. It wasn't going to be a penalty, and I don't think Mike Dean would have bothered checking it on the VAR. Well, he will have checked it, but I don't think he would have given it now. I mean, it's minimal contact from McKenna in any case. All he's trying to do is just use his strength really against Salah. I don't think it's anything to do with Scott McKenna. I think his feet buckle underneath him. And I think that's the reason why he got injured. Never a penalty. Scott McKenna was well within his right to use his strength. I'm concerned for Jurgen Klopp there. He really could do without this. Remember, he's lost. There's no Diaz, no Matip, no Keita, no Kanati, and Nunes and Thiago. They're all out with their injuries or infections and the like, and there's no Jota either. So presumably through suspension. So you look at that, and they can ill afford more salary. I'm pleased to tell you that he is on his feet and he's okay. Jurgen Klopp is not happy again. I'm not sure if he's trying to say, "Oh, that should have been a penalty, lads." But it's a free kick anyway. So Salah receiving treatment on the far side. Liverpool temporarily down to 10 at this moment in time. It's going to be Elliott to swing it in right-footed into the penalty area. It's easily knocked away by Scott McKenna. But only as far as Gomez looks it into the penalty area again from about 10 yards. He was positioned about 10 yards inside the Forest half from the right-hand side, and McKenna coolly gets it back to Dean Henderson, who, to be fair, at this moment in time, has hardly put a foot wrong in this first half. 34 gone. 11 to play before the break. Salah has rejoined us, so both teams back to their full complement of 11 against 11. Here's Curtis Jones. Lets it run out of play. Will be a Liverpool ball. They take the throw in quickly. Here's Robertson to Gomez. Gomez now over halfway. 10 yards inside the Forest half. Chipped a long ball forward towards the edge of the area. Firmino tries to get on the end of it. Carvalho's on the scene. Here's Curtis Jones in possession on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Robertson goes in field. Uses Carvalho. Carvalho has to turn. Uses Van Dijk. Van Dijk now to Gomez. Everybody camped in the Forest half of the field at the moment. Firmino looking to pick the pass towards Harvey Elliott, and it's two overhit, and Elliott applauds the attempt of the pass, but not so the execution, because he put his head in his hands prior to that. But he did appreciate what Firmino was actually trying to do there. But to be fair, Nico Williams, I think, had the situation under control and marked him out perfectly well. 10 minutes to half time on the TCL. Remember, we've got Champions League action as well. We've got a Champions League game on Tuesday night. We'll have some Europa League action, of course, on Wednesday and Thursday as well. And of course, there'll be Premier League football next weekend as well, hopefully live and delayed commentary of them. Here's Joe Gomez for Liverpool. Comes forward to Jones. Remember, we're live at the London Stadium. We're live for the clash on Monday night at the London Stadium. Russ Vernon, your Fox in the box, and me in the presenter's chair as we bring you a massive game between West Ham and Bournemouth. West Ham, 2 home games in 4 days for them. Here's Milner into the penalty area, chips the ball back. It's a corner kick. Comes off the defender, Konate, and it's a corner kick to Liverpool. Still 0-0 here. It's been a very good first half. It's been very enjoyable. Milner wasn't offside. And Konate got back and saved the Forest blushes just in the nick of time. Now Milner, not as sprightly as he used to be as a 16-year-old coming through the youth academy at Leeds. He's been at Manchester City, Aston Villa amongst his former players as well. And there's won mainly most of his medals with Liverpool and Manchester City. Won the European Cup in 2019. Great reward, a great professional, and never afraid to do the dirty work. Reminds me a little bit of David Batty, a little bit, James Milner. Never afraid to do the dirty work. Although Milner could score goals as well, David Batty couldn't in his career. Anyway, the corner comes into the penalty area from Milner. Before mentioned Milner. It'll come out to him again now. Just takes a touch, crosses in, left-footed. And Van Dijk, he should have scored. He tried to head it back towards Firmino. But from, 4 yards out, you would expect Virgil van Dijk in that position to have scored there. It's a wonderful cross from the right with the left foot of James Milner. He's definitely onside there, and he's heading it back across the face of goal. I cannot believe, from the life of me, he's trying to nod that back to Firmino. Virtually impossible. Should have gone for goal. Should have gone for goal for me. That is a gilt-edged chance, and if Liverpool lose that game, they will put back to that missed opportunity. Amazing when you think about it. Here's Henderson with the kick. Over halfway. Gives it a big long boot. 3/4 of the way down the field. 37 and 3/4 minutes gone on the TCM. It's Forest 0, Liverpool 0. Delay commentary with me, John Stutter, JB, in the commentary box at the City Ground. Here's Konate, but he loses possession again. Firmino a little bit more deeper this time. Wins the throw-in for Liverpool. Steve Cooper's men have had a let-off. Don't think there's any question about that. And, well, it has been some first half to watch this, I'll tell you. We have a game with a vengeance. Ball sprayed out towards Virgil van Dijk. He did magnificently well. Here's Robertson in possession. It's been a first half really that should have had a goal, hasn't so far. But I tell you what, I don't think there will be a goal long in coming. Here's Firmino now. Good ball out to Harvey Elliott. Uses Milner, the captain. On the right-hand side. The ball exclusively on that right-hand side. Here's Harvey Elliott. Had plenty of joy on that right-hand side. Firmino's taking a position on the right this time. Collides with Remo Freuler, and a free kick has been given to Nottingham Forest for foul by Bobby Firmino. Just barges Freuler out. And a free kick it is. Right by that corner quadrant on the left-hand side for Forest, deep inside the realm territory. As I said, about 10 yards from there on the own corner quadrant. So 5 minutes to go to half-time. Liverpool certainly had the better of things. We've got a big fight as well on the 3rd of December as well. Tyson Fury against Derek Chisora. What a fight that promises to be. I'm sure Alexander Usyk will be watching on with great interest. He's got the other belts, of course, in the heavyweight division. As everyone tries, they try to unify that heavyweight division. If Fury wins, I'm sure Alexander Usyk will face off for Fury So much for Tyson Fury's retirement. The Gypsy King will be back in the ring come the third, barring complications. Should be a good fight, that one, between him and Derek Chisora. Right, 5 minutes to go to half time. Nottingham Forest still Liverpool nil. Free kick to Liverpool. Foul on Elliot by Konate, who's just missed a lot of the ball, got plenty in the man. Another warning there for Konate. The referee will be taking notes. He's committed a few, shall we say, borderline late challenges so far this afternoon. It's been sort of a match, really. Anyway, Gomez spreads the play out towards the far side. And look at the space Harvey Elliott's got. He plays a 1-2, Elliott. Towards the byline he goes. Elliott back inside. Cross in from Van Dijk. Headed out only as far as Curtis Jones, who has possession here. Picks up Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk back in possession. Jones in possession. Tries to turn. Does really, really well. Liverpool starting to ask a lot of questions here at the moment. Fabinho spreads the play, and it's nicely spread the play too. And Yates comes back for Forest and does a terrific tidying up job there. And Liverpool at the moment not bowing down to any pressure from Forest at any stage of this game. Ball laid in, and that's too close to Dean Henderson, who can take that all day long. So we've played nearly 42 minutes of the first half, and still we remain goalless. And a free kick has been given. Foul there on Jesse Lingard by Curtis Jones. Free kick to Nottingham Forest. 3 minutes to go to half time, plus any stoppage, injury or stoppage time. Cook takes the free kick very quickly. Over towards the far side there. And Forest coming forward. There's a foul there, is there? Yes, there is. Free kick Liverpool. Nico Williams, the man, penalised. My referee Tierney, who up to now actually has had a really, really good game. He's really had a good game personally. I think he's done exceptionally well. He's been absolutely superb. Good ball out towards Robertson, who goes this Carvalho. Ball out of play. Will be a throw in. So we're coming towards the business end of the first half. It's been Aaron Scarum. There is no doubt about that. Go watching truth. Fabinho has possession here now for Liverpool. Sprays the play out towards the far side. It's a good ball too, but oh dear, Harvey Elliott James Milner, just overcooked that chest down, and the ball just whizzed out of play to the Trent end for a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. Inside the last couple of minutes of normal time, and then we'll get word from Graham Scott of Oxford how long further there was to go as Noah Kintyre now starts playing around. There was a rumour going around that Paul McCartney was going to sing it live when Forest got promoted, when they were last relegated some 25 years ago, some 23, 24 years ago. Not sure whether that was a tongue-in-cheek gesture, but I think he should just put his money where his mouth was and just come and sing it for them. Today would have been an appropriate day to sing it, considering that a team from his hometown of Liverpool are in town. Today would have been an appropriate time. I wonder if he forgot all about that. I'm sure there'll be a few. I don't know if he's got a Twitter handle to Paul McCartney, but I'm sure there'll be a few Forest fans reminding him of that, if there is. Anyway, here comes a worldie for Forest into Jesse Lingard. Can Forest finish with a flourish at the end of the first half? No, they can't. It's an offside. Tim Wood there putting up his flag on the near side. So a free kick has been given to Liverpool. And, I've got to be honest, I don't think there was much in it at all. And if Tim Wood could see that was offside from his position, and then put the flag up some 10 seconds later, which I still think is a daft thing to do. We were praising him earlier on. If he's offside, just put the flag up. Let the game flow, for God's sake. Right, 10 seconds of normal time to go. We'll get word from Graham Scott of Oxford how long there will be to go, the fourth official today. Here's Harvey Elliott playing the ball in, hooked away there by Scott McKenna. We're now into stoppage time at the end of the first half here, and just the 1 minute signalled by Graham Scott of Oxford. Ball boxed forward by Van Dijk. Can Liverpool finish the first half with a flourish? It's Robertson down this left-hand side. He hasn't had too much joy. Urier has had him practically in his back pocket all afternoon so far. Sergio Urier probably won't play all the game. He's still coming back from injury. And they've got Lodi on the bench who's just recovering from injury, of course. So there's plenty of good players on the bench there from either side to turn it around. Enough quality there. Obviously, Chamberlain, of course, hasn't started the game since March. So since actually playing for Nottingham Forest here in the FA Cup since March even. So that shows the illustration. Here's Morgan Gibbs White going in strong on Robertson, and that's the last act of the first half. And Nottingham Forest will be happy to get to this stage with their goal still very much intact. Virgil van Dijk with one of the best chances. Carvalho came close, forced the rest down to Dean Henderson. Robbie Firmino came close, but Awodi's had a sighter for Forest. Lingard's had a couple of sighters. Kadati's had a sighter. So both teams have gone for it and have really not disappointed. But we still haven't had a goal yet to show for the efforts at the moment. But I don't think there'll be a goal far away in the future. But we'll be all set for the second half here in just a minute. Let's hope the second half is just as good as the first because, let's be fair, the crowd have been right up for this today. Half time at the City Ground as we take a short break here on the TC Hub on this delayed commentary. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, and we'll be back shortly for the second half. And welcome back to the City Ground, where the teams have now just come out of the tunnel and we're ready to go in the second half. 0-0, if you just joined us, between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Both teams have had several key opportunities to score in that first half, but now Nottingham Forest will attack their favourite Trent End in the second half. Liverpool attacking their supporters in the Bridgeford End in the second half. So this should be a cracking second half we got here. As Noah Quintana now just belts out around the City Ground. And it's going to be Liverpool in them grey and white shirts, all grey and white, to get us up and running again. Harvey Elliott will get us underway. And off we go. So the second half up and underway as Van Dijk gets the ball forward. So Forest attacking the Trent End in the second half in Gabaldi red, white shorts and Gabaldi red socks. Liverpool in them white and grey strip, or grey and white strip, attacking the Bridgeford End to my right. Draw in front of the Brian Clough stand opposite me. We're sat in the main stand here at the City Ground as we get underway. Aurier with a throw on the far side. Quick on. Gomez knocks it away. If the first half was good, we hope the second half is just going to be as good. It's been a good game for a 0-0. Really enjoyed it. Milner now winning the header. Back to Elliott. No handball. Just to remind you of the two teams. Henderson in goal for Forest. Here's Williams making a good dash, and then the ball back to. We'll give you a reminder of the two teams once the ball's out of play, because here's Firmino on the ball trying to get Salah on his way, but back comes Aurier to hook it out for a throw. No, it's not been kept in. It's been kept in by Robertson. In fact, kept in quite easily. I thought it was going out for a throw. Very deceiving from where we're sat in the main stand. As Carvalho goes forward, and it is out for a throw-in now. Just run through the two teams very quickly. Henderson in goal for Forest. This is a recap. Sergio Aurier, Steve Cook, Scott McKenna and Nico Williams, the back four. Then it's Ryan Yates, Remo Freyat, Chet Chiarte, the midfield three. Morgan Gibbs-White, Timo Awoni, and Jesse Lingard are the front three. Liverpool quickly with Alisson in goal. Back four of James Milner, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and James... and Andy Robertson, rather. And then Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones and Fabinho, and Fabinho Carvalho, Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino up front. That's the two lineups as Williams comes charging forward for Liverpool Forest. And, we'll just have to see how the play goes in the second half. Remember, Liverpool, 2 wins in a week. They're up to 7th with 16 points. Forest are bottom at swing stand at the start of play with 6 points. At swing stand, they go to 7 points, but still will remain bottom. A win will take them off the bottom, and that will be a fillip for them. As Forest comes charging forward again. Good ball over the top now, looking towards the run of Awoni, but the ball hushed back to Alisson, fouled by Awoni on Gomez. It turns out he barged Gomez off the ball. And a free kick has been awarded to Liverpool. Yeah, long after the ball had gone, there was definitely contact there by Awoni, the big number 9. There wasn't that much in the way of contact. I think Gomez may have just milked the going down bit a little easily. But nevertheless, free kick to Jurgen Klopp's side, and already we've had 3 minutes of the second half. It's gone quickly, this game, hasn't it? Anyway, here's Fabinho now for Liverpool. Remember, depleted with no Diaz, Matip, Keita, Konate, and Manuel and Nunes. And Thiago all out through injuries or ear infections or one thing or another. No Jota neither, presumably through suspension. Here's Nico Williams, ex-Liverpool, gets it away. Left Liverpool in the summer to join Forest. Here's Milner, the captain for Liverpool. Plays it in there. Headed away by Scott McKenna, the big Scottish defender. Did really well there. Got it out. Terrific play by him. Liverpool back in possession now with James Milner. Uses Harvey Elliott. Elliott goes back. Uses Joe Gomez, who now in turn finds Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk now trots forward. Uses Carvalho. Ball whipped out towards the far side here. Curtis Jones gets it back from Robertson. Uses Fabinho. Deep inside Forest territory now as Liverpool attack that Bridgebend end. Here's Milner now to the byline. Gets the crossing from the right-hand side. The heads go up and it's almost off the line. I think it was Salah who was in there. He got the header. It was a weak header. And in the end, Scott McKenna got in there. It was actually not him. It was Fabio Carvalho who came in at the back post rather than Mo Salah. He was more centrally placed. Didn't get any purchase or conviction that much on the header as it turned out. As Wingard does some good holding up play down on the near side here and keeps it alive. Now then, chance for Forest to break, but they can't get anything going there. Fryer runs the ball out into touch. So Milner with the throw in then for Liverpool. Still 0-0 if you've just joined us on the TCM and all platforms. Milner charges forward and it's out for a throw. And Williams will take it. Still 0-0 if you've just joined us. Good first half here. Ball played in. Fabinho's head is up and the referee's blown for a little bit of a shoulder charge. So a free kick to Liverpool, it looks like to me. So the grey and white shirts can drop forward yet again. Held there by Ryan Yates. I mean, there was not much in it, to be perfectly honest. I think that's a soft one for Paul Tierney, the referee from Wigan, to give. But free kick it is. As Liverpool go off in search of that opening goal. We've had nearly 6 minutes gone in the second half on all TCF platforms. Delayed commentary with me, JB John Stuttard from the Premier League. It's Liverpool being held by Forest 0-0 as free kick comes in. It's going to be left to James Milner. No, the referee's not happy. He wants to wear with a Forest player. Presumably Ryan Yates, maybe a bit too much pushing and shoving going on whilst Robertson and Milner were trying to cook up that set play. So Robertson and Milner, again, the two-man committee. Again, they leave it, and Milner leaves it in. And there's a man free, and Salah miscontrolled it. Carvalho shoots, sent over the top of the bar into the Bridgebend end. Goal kick for Forest. Well, Salah came in there, virtually unmarked, miscontrolled it. Good free kick from Milner, definitely onside. Salah miscontrols it, comes to Carvalho. It was a difficult chance because he was under pressure anyway from Ryan Yates as he struck the shot there. Just miscontrolled there, Salah. And I think he knew. I think he was trying to do it first time. Better advice to try and kill the ball a bit more subtly than he did. But anyway, 52 gone. Still Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0 on the TCL. With me, John Stuttard, in the commentary box. And again, Yates in there with a committed challenge, but it breaks to Firmino. And there's a contact in the penalty area involving Harvey Elliott, but the referee says, no way, that's not a penalty. And I think Harvey Elliott, to be fair, accepts it with very good grace because I think he realised Steve Cook had just used his strength. I think he was going down before Cook even touched him in the first place. Anyway, Wingard gets it over the top. And in fact, he hasn't kept that in, according to the linesman down on the near side. So a free kick it is or throw-in rather, to Liverpool. Steve Cooper, well, his team are definitely in with a shout here of winning this game. There's much question or doubt about that. He's a very astute manager, as I said at the start. His father, Keith Cooper, the former referee, who hails from Pontypridd. Of course, Steve Cooper was Pontypridd born and bred up and down in South Wales. And well, his dad, Keith, looking really well, I believe. He's in the crowd to see his son in action, pitting his wits against one of the greatest managers in modern times in Jurgen Klopp, a real charismatic character, Jurgen Klopp. I know he moans and groans a lot about certain things in press conferences, but his sheer personality is good for the game. Oh, now then, Gomez was robbed in possession by Awoni, who was then wrestled to the ground. Nottingham Forest won a red card, but there was a covering defender. I'd fancy in Virgil van Dijk anyway. So I think Paul Tierney, in a lot of respects, has made the right call here. No doubt Awoni is getting away, and Gomez had no other choice but to bring him down. It's a professional foul. It is a yellow card. Virgil van Dijk was on the cover. He wasn't the last man there, Gomez. Forest and Steve Cooper wanted retribution. They wanted a red. VAR checked it, and they're okay with the booking. Gomez is second of the season, but it's a Forest free kick on halfway. Morgan gives White to take it. Now, this could really set it up. This is where Forest need to get the ball in there. Gives White, send it in there towards Cook on the far side. Cook sends it in. Yes, scores it. It's in the post. And he scores! Scores for Forest! And it's pandemonium in the City ground. A warning from 3 yards after White yanks it in the post. Has put Nottingham Forest bottom of the Premier League 1-0 ahead. What a moment for Steve Cooper's men. And what a game it really sets up now. Awani, a former Liverpool player, has scored against his own club. The free kick came in. There was no offside here on the first phase. It came to Cook. The ball was played in. Yates had the first effort against the right-hand post. And then it rebounded back to Awani from 6 yards and he couldn't miss. Yates' first effort off the post. And Awani finished it off. Thank you very much. Good night, sir. And we've got a shock on in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest up to their old upsetting tricks again. Steve Cooper loves it. He's enjoying it. He's giving it the fist bumps. Liverpool in disarray again. The team that haven't won away are trailing to Nottingham Forest. And that has really lit up the blue touch paper. Good and proper now. Awani with the goal. Nottingham Forest 1. Liverpool 0. Awani on 55 minutes. Wow. Now you'll hear Noah Kintyre like it's never sung before. Gomez for Liverpool. Inside his own half. Uses Van Dijk. Back to Gomez again. What have Liverpool got in the tank now? They've got to come from behind again. And I think that's another time now where they've gone behind having lost the first goal. It's happened so many times this season. Away form, they played 4 previously. Drawn 2, lost 2. Could it be a third loss? Potentially here today. Or can they dig themselves out of a hole? Those 2-1 wins will count for nothing if they don't beat Forest today. Here's Firmino. Got to be deeper here. Robertson back to Jones. And now the game you think will be exclusively played in the Nottingham Forest half. Here's a good ball played in. Here's a chance for Liverpool. Oh, yeah, good save. Diving away to his left-hand side by Dean Henderson. The goalkeeper with the black cap on has just made a smart save to deny Harvey Elliott an instant equaliser. And what a save it was too. Wow. Excuse me. Robertson with the corner. I'm not sure that's on the quadrant, but the linesman's happy enough. Here comes the corner. Robertson swings it in, and it came away. I think Liverpool had got onto it, but he headed it back towards Lingard rather than towards goal. I'm not sure who it was. Lingard robs possession for Forest, and here's Awani on the break. He's got Gibbs White in the middle. If he can get his head up, it's Morgan against White. Kick could come in 2 for Forest. Oh, what a block that is over the bar by James Milner. And that would have been curtains for Liverpool then if Morgan gives White had just took that one in the back of the net. Awani didn't give up the lost cause. It looked as if Forest had lost the chance, but he found Gibbs White. Maybe the former Wolves man took a bit too long. And James Milner got back there with a typical captain's challenge to keep Liverpool in the game. Forest corner. It's all kicked off here. 58 gone at the City ground. Nottingham Forest 1. Liverpool 0. Gibbs White, who's just missed that opportunity, will take the Forest corner. Will he go short? No, he's gone long in there towards Awani. The goalkeeper got half a glove on that. And in fact, he was fouled inside the area. Free kick to Liverpool. And I think the referee was right on top of that. Well, we have just seen 4 minutes of we've just seen a passage of play there for 4 minutes where it's just been air and scare. And there's the first effort from Yates. Awani is there to tuck it in. That's his 3rd goal of the season, incidentally. Already got 2 previously, and that's a good finish. He came in for Brennan Johnson. Steve Cook made the break initially with the run down the right-hand channel. The centre-back put in a very good cross, actually, and well taken on the second attempt after Yates had been foiled by the near right-hand post. And here's the ball chipped forward towards Carvalho. Oh, he is there. Liverpool's corner. Now then, will the lead, in the words of Eminem, will the real Liverpool stand? Please stand up now, because we're going to see a double change. Klopp has reacted. He's not happy. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson are about to join the fray. Not until after this corner, at least. Here comes the corner. In it goes from Robertson. Headed out by Yates. And then headed further away by Lingard. Awelmi trying to hold it up, and he just does enough. Konate takes possession. Nico Williams loses it to Harvey Elliott. The former Liverpool player may have put his team in trouble against his holding players. Elliott now into towards Carvalho, but he's lost possession this time. And then the big long boot again by Lingard, looking towards Awelmi. Awelmi has come away again, but wow, we've had an hour, but the first 15 minutes of the second half, it's just been excitement upon excitement upon excitement. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0, and if they can keep them out for the next half an hour plus stoppage time, Nottingham Forest will have died and gone to football heaven, because let's face it, nobody would have given them a chance. Probably there were 12-1 shots to win today. When you look at the way Liverpool have picked up in form, okay, the wins haven't been convincing against the likes of Manchester City and West Ham United, but when you look at it on paper, it's a great feather in the cap. James Milner's going off. Trent Alexander-Arnold will take his usual right back spot, and that means the captaincy will be back with Jordan Henderson, who in turn replaces Fabio Carvalho. So it looks as if Henderson will take the Carvalho role. And we know that the other change, Alexander-Arnold for Milner, will be like for like. So the club captain now on. They needed to make those changes. Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy. So Jordan Henderson, the Sunderland-born player, is now on for Liverpool as captain. Here he is now on the ball, immediately getting his first touch. And Trent Alexander-Arnold just now will do the same down the right-hand side. Plays a 1-2 with Elliott. Here is Alexander-Arnold, the buoyant Scouser. Born and bred in Liverpool. Liverpool fan. A lot of talk about his form this season. Maybe he might come to form in the next half an hour. And, of course, there's Gareth Southgate to impress as well. Joe Worrell and Brennan Johnson are about to come on for Nottingham Forest as well. There's a corner now to be taken. And Andy Robertson will go forward to take that. And no, it's not. In fact, it's going to be the right foot of Trent Alexander-Arnold, not Andy Robertson. So they're going to try something different from the left-hand side here, Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's a better corner. And the header comes in, and it's just gone wide. And I think Firmino had got it, was definitely in there. And the value of having Trent Alexander-Arnold in that side now, almost paying dividends. Van Dijk had gone in for the first ball. Firmino got the final touch and headed it just wide of the angle of post and bar. Post and crossbar. So changes are being made. Number 11, Jesse Lingard's coming off. And let's be fair, he's put on an absolute storming shift today, Jesse Lingard. Let's give him a bit of respect. He hasn't had much chance in theory to start, but when he's had the opportunity, he's took it with both hands today. He's worked ever so hard and has supported Awani and everybody else. He's coming off to be replaced by Joe Worrell. So it looks like Brennan Johnson may well go to centre forward. We'll have a look at how Forest will shape up. But Joe Worrell is a defensive player, so obviously I think Steve Cooper will just want to bolster it at the back, try and protect possibly this one-goal lead they've got, and just see how this plays out. So we have a game with a vengeance here. And the well-needed goal scorer has done his bit. Now the rest of the Forest lads have got to do their bit. Will he be the match winner come the end of this one? We'll have to wait and see. Henderson goes short, uses McKenna, who in turn now uses Nico Williams, has lost it. And now there could be problems. There could be real problems. And it's back in there towards Salah from Firmino's ball. And in the end, Konate just smacks it out of play for a throw to Liverpool. But what was Nico Williams doing there? That was ridiculous. That could have led to an equaliser for his whole side. But he got away with it. Liverpool concede the throw. It's a Forest ball. Morgan Gibbs White winning that throw in. Well, it came to Williams there. All he had to do was boot it away. He took one touch too many, and that could have been catastrophe for Nottingham Forest. The ball needed to be better, really, for Firmino, for them to punish that mistake, and it wasn't punished. And it's still Forest 1, Liverpool 0. We're into the 65th minute of the game. We're nearly at the halfway stage of the second half. Salah's on one of those runs, but Forest step out the danger. Remember, they've got Joe Wobble on at the centre-back now. Aurier going forward, but he's lost possession. And here goes Fabinho now. They've got to throw everything at it now in the remaining 25 minutes plus injury time. Elliott dispossessed. Here's Morgan Gibbs White for Nottingham Forest, but he's lost it. And here goes Jordan Henderson. Henderson plays the ball out towards the far side. And Andy Robertson. It's going to be an interesting last 25 minutes plus injury time at the end of this, I can tell you. Henderson sprays the ball out nicely to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool looking for this equalising goal. Ball played in and it's hooked away for a corner by Steve Cook. And now all hands on deck for Forest for the remaining 24 plus stoppage time that remain here at the City Ground. Liverpool corner with 66 minutes gone. Are we going to see drama abundance? We've seen enough drama already in this first 20 minutes of the second half. Are we going to see more? Corner is swung in from the side from Trent Alexander-Arnold. The heads go up and Van Dijk was in there. And there's a foul there, surely, on Morgan Gibbs White by Joe Gomez, and a free kick to Nottingham Forest, and they can relieve a little bit of tension with that. Wow. And Frank Clark there, set down Gary Birtles, I can see. John McGovern, just three of the European Cup winning side from 1979 and 1980 in that group there. John McGovern, who's a club ambassador these days. Frank Clark, of course, an ex-Forest manager, took over from Brian Clough. Gary Birtles still looking sprightly as ever. All in enjoying the afternoon and reminiscing on past battles with Liverpool when they were really in their pomp under Bob Paisley. We played 67 minutes at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0. With me, JB John Stuttard for the commentary hub. What a game it has been so far, and there's still a long way to go yet. We're halfway through that second half. As I said, 67 minutes gone. Here's Jordan Henderson on the ball now for Liverpool. Finds Joe Gomez with it. Uses Virgil van Dijk now. Van Dijk keeps his head. Finds Henderson. Looks to pick a pass maybe for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he does so. So 1-0 is the score to Forest. Good game. This really developing here at the City Ground. I hope you're enjoying it at home with us here on the TCM and all the platforms we've got. Our participating YouTube channels with the hub this year are JB Sports, Storm FM, TCM and TCM2. Here comes Liverpool in the penalty area. We're also on Twitch, by the way. Don't forget the Twitter handle, which you can keep up to date with all the latest breaking news from the world of sport and football at Commentary Live 1. And here goes Konate. He's got Brennan Johnson in the middle. Brennan Johnson, good save by Alisson. A tremendous save by him to deny Brennan Johnson. And that would have really put Liverpool's backs up against the wall if Forest had gone 2-0 up at that stage. Wow. Some second half this is turning out to be. Here come Forest again with Nico Williams. Stopped by Henderson. Now here's Fabinho for Liverpool. Fabinho gets it over and he finds Harvey Elliott down the right. Harvey Elliott now. Elliott's crossing there towards Salah. Turned away brilliantly there by Steve Cook, who's had a marvellous game at the back. So too has Scott McKenna. There's an injury there for a Forest player, Konate, I think, but Steve Cook has been immense all afternoon, hasn't he? Now all men are playing in Gabaldi Red today have really put in a real shift at the moment, and they'll need to put in another shift for the remaining 21 minutes plus injury time. This was the break from Konate. May have injured himself in making that opportunity for Brennan Johnson. I don't think it was going in as it turned out, but Allison couldn't be sure. He had to turn it out behind. And Steve Cooper knows they could be caught on the break here. And Forest, the way they play at the moment, the way they're set up tactically at the moment, are more than liable to catch Liverpool on the counter-attack. Remember what they did in the FA Cup against Arsenal back in January? I was there. I remember it like yesterday. Arsenal did a lot of the attacking, but Forest caught them a lot of times on the break and hit the ultimate, scored the ultimate goal in the 83rd minute through Lewis Grabham that night. A night that Forest fans would never forget. This would top it if they were to hold on here against the double winner, the League Cup and the FA Cup winners and European finalists from last season. Jurgen Klopp's brilliant Liverpool in real trouble of slipping to another defeat. It will be their third defeat on the road this season. And Anfield, they've struggled a little bit as well. Been more draws than anything else at Anfield. I know they've picked up with a couple of wins in the last sort of 6 days against Manchester City and against West Ham. Not albeit convincingly. And they're not all convincingly now because they're raised stage, but Forest are so stubborn, they're not going to give an edge. 20 minutes to go. Here's Henderson finding Trent Alexander-Arnold. Ball into the area. Gets a little deflection. Comes to the edge of the area. Shot comes in from Curtis Jones and well fielded at the second attempt by Dean Henderson, who just lost it for a second originally and then pounced upon it very quickly. Jones had to take it on the chest. Did really well there, the Forest keeper. Didn't get it in the first time, but he made sure that the ball didn't go too far away from his grasp and managed to jump on it within about half a second. And now the ball knocked forward now by Forest. It's end-to-end stuff. It's almost like a cup tie this, and out comes as Brendan Johnson was closing in there. Morgan Gibbs-White was closing in there. Allison came quickly out towards the edge of the area. Was inside the area and picked it up nicely. Here's Elliott now, looking towards Salah, and one of good interceptions. Scott McKenna saw the danger, read it, and got it away. That was a great piece of centre-back play by Scott McKenna. As I said, he's played every minute under Steve Cooper since he's been manager. We're going to see number 32 here, Lodi, come on for Nottingham Forest. And he's going to replace number 7 here. And what a game he's had. A decent game he's had. Nico Williams almost gave Liverpool an equaliser, but he still gets a raucous ovation from the Nottingham Forest fans, who do appreciate his efforts, to be fair. So Lodi comes on, number 32. How much tension can we take here at the City Ground? Oh, my word, what a game. JB John Stuttard in the commentary box. Are we going to see another memorable day for Nottingham Forest this calendar year? We've had so many great days here. The playoff victory. The wins in the Cup against the likes of Arsenal and Leicester City. They had a good day against Liverpool despite losing in the quarterfinals of that game. There's Redham Lodi to give him his full title, his full name. They had a good win against West Ham on the second day of the season. They've only won 1 in 9 going into this. Will it be their first win? They have not won in their last 9. Will it be 1 win in their last 10? If they manage it, they will go, as things stand, they'll go off the bottom. There's 2 balls on the pitch, but the ball's been put out. Tim Wood just making sure that the Liverpool player put the ball out, for which he did. So it's all down to these last 17 minutes, plus any injury time. And all eyes come the 90th minute will be on Graham Scott of Oxfordshire. Here's Virgil van Dijk, 10 yards inside the Forest half. It's being played now exclusively down the Bridgman end at the moment, as Liverpool look to go in search of an equalising goal. They need it PDQ, you think, at this stage. Van Dijk plays it out to the far side. They need something now, Liverpool. Fabinho. Forest hanging on here. 1-0 they lead Liverpool. And Welby with a goal after 55 minutes. At the moment will decide the destiny of the points. Looks like they're staying at the City Ground unless Liverpool can stage a great show here. Ball played in from Alexander-Arnold. Headed out. It's been a very, very good game of football. Played in a terrific pace. There's just been so much going on in this second half. It's just you can't cram anything else in to the commentary. It's just, it's one of those games you don't need to use too many statistics on, because the game is just an amazing match. Here's Firmino, I should say. Firmino tries to turn away from Yates. Yates has fouled him. It's a free kick. Yates is fuming. Yates has given the captaincy now back to Joe Wobble, incidentally. There's so much going on. I've had to conveniently leave bits out like that, because it's just been that sort of a ferocious second half. We played 25 minutes of the second half. We're playing nearly half an hour of the second half, I should say, and we've got 15 of it to go. And we have had the game, a real Premier League game for the ages here. Andy Robertson's going to take the free kick. Maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold's on the scene too. He's going to be the right foot of Alexander-Arnold or the left foot of Andy Robertson. It's going to be the left foot of Andy Robertson into the penalty area. Salary spree, but I think Canati had got there first and had to get there, because if he didn't, that would have been an equalising goal, no doubt. Salah was left on track. Here's Elliott from the throw-in. Still 1-0 to Forest. Here's the ball lifted in there towards on the back, and there could be a problem or two here for Forest. They're having one or two difficulties, and Yates in the end comes away with the ball. Now then, a chance here for the break on here. And it's a chance now for Forest to lay siege. Morgan Gibbs-White is there, but he can't be found. Henderson got there first. Good running as well, right off the ball by Brandon Johnson as well in all that. 1 hour remaining plus stoppage time. What a game. We're going to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain come on for Bobby Firmino. No goal for him. He won't be added to his 8 goals this season. And the substitution's been made PDQ very swiftly here. 76 gone. Forest leading 1-0. Delayed commentary on the TCO with me, JB, John Stuttard, the commentator here at the City Ground. Streams going out on these participating YouTube channels: JB Sports, TC Hub, TC Hub 2, and Storm FM. We're also being played out on the TC Hub Twitch channel. And we're also on Twitter. Well, you can check out our Twitter handle for all the latest news, views, and gossip. And by joining us at Commentary Live 1. Commentary Live 1. And don't forget, we've got a busy couple of months coming up in the world of the TC Hub. The busiest couple of months that I can ever remember the TC Hub ever having to undertake in their coverage. Anyway, here's Canati breaking inside the penalty area. We'll talk about that in a second, because Warriors have got a chance here, and Yanks, and he hits it straight at the goalkeeper, who didn't hold on to it first time. Got it at the second attempt, and Liverpool now in possession. Remember what we've got coming up in the next 2 months, folks. Premier League commentaries, all these live and delayed. Premier League commentaries, AFL commentaries, EFL Cup commentaries, first round of the FA Cup. We've got that covered. And then the big one on the 20th, in late November, we've got the World Cup from Qatar. We'll have the opening game on the 20th of November. And we'll be covering the tournament all the way through to the final, which will be on the 18th of December. Will England be there? Well, we'll have to see in the next couple of months. Gareth Southgate picked a 55-man squad provisionally for that tournament. And there'll be a few England players on show here. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's impressed so far with his repertoire of free kicks and corners. Has left this one to Robertson on the far side. Liverpool got a corner whilst I was talking there. Ball played in there. Cook got it away. His clearance got a slight deflection, but it favoured Forest. And here go Forest on the break again. And the ball will go out of play, and it will be a Forest ball, to the displeasure of Jurgen Klopp here at this moment in time. What a riveting game this has absolutely been. And there's still 12 minutes plus injury time to go. So Mangala's going to come on for Forest, number 5. So let's have a look who's he's going to be placed. And looks like Forest are just trying to bolt things up as much as they can. Fresh legs at the back, maybe. Been a smashing match here as the Forest fans now start to celebrate. It's a bit premature. You never discount Liverpool at this stage of proceedings. Here's the throw taken by number 26 there, which is Scott McKenna. Number 24 on the ball now is Sergio Aurier. Yates has it. Aurier has it too. Been an amazing afternoon down on the banks of River Trent. Brendan Johnson keeps it in. Uses Sergio Aurier. There's only 2 in the box. Lodi was one of them. And he always got on the end of that. That's going to be a foul there on Ryan Yates. Free kick to Liverpool now as we go into the last 11 minutes plus injury time. On the TCM, delayed commentary on what's been a thrilling lunchtime kickoff in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0. And I hope the next 3 games coming up later today will be just as good. There's Everton against Crystal Palace, Manchester City favourites to beat Brighton and Hove Albion, and then we've got that Chelsea Man United game. Substitution being made. As we just see, was it Wemby onside? Yeah, not Chiati, sorry, offside. No, he wasn't. He did lay on the chance for Ryan Yates, and that was actually his last act of the game. So Mangala comes on now. For the remaining 10 minutes, exactly that remain, plus stoppage time. And knowing the officials as I did, there'll be a fair chunk added on at the end. But having said all that, I can't see it being any more than 3, maybe 4 at best. Because the game's been quite an open cup tie feel about it this second half. There's just so much incident that's happened. Goals, chances, everything. You've had it all in the second half, folks. Value for money here if you've come and watched it as a neutral today. And I've certainly had a great pleasure doing this game. That's the sure. Ball chipped into the penalty area. And it goes towards the area. Jones can't get it out from under his feet. He's fouled his man as well, Curtis Jones. He kicks the ball away in disgust. Spells Serge Aurier and a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Well, we're getting closer to the end now. And it will feel like 4 hours. It will feel like 9 hours rather than 9 minutes for Forest. We've played 81 minutes of the game. 81 minutes have been played. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool now on the TCM on all platforms. Free kick to be taken by Dean Henderson. There's 2 Hendersons on the field. Jordan for Liverpool, Dean for Forest. And it's the aforementioned Dean that's going to take the goal kick. Right-footed. Kicks it 3 quarters of the way up the field. What a game he's had, by the way, Dean Henderson. He's had a smashing game for Forest. Along with his defence, including Steve Cook, who's had a marvellous game. All that Premier League experience he's had with Bournemouth over the years. That looked a foul to me. The referee didn't want to know. And there's a Forest player stricken on the ground. The referee's had to stop it. It's Brennan Johnson there holding his head. I'm not sure who clashed with him. Virgil van Dijk's the nearest to him. In fact, I think Van Dijk knows there's a little bit of an injury going on. And also, he's injured too. I found them 2 have clashed. It might have been purely accidental because they're both injured here. Well, they're battling with the ball there. Let's see who comes out on top. Well, 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, I think, to be perfectly honest with you. Forest thinking it's their free kick. Jurgen Klopp thinks it's a free kick to them. To his side. What we do know is there's 2 players stricken here. Virgil van Dijk is a player that they can ill afford. Just to remind you that injury list again. We're going to break in play. No Diaz, no Matip, no Keita, no Canati, no Nunes, and no Thiago, and no Jota, who's presumably suspension. Just to remind you of the next football we have on the TCM. I'll be in the presenter's chair as Russ Vernon travels down to the capital to come at West Ham United's first home game of 2 this midweek. They've got a Europa League match on Thursday, Europa Conference League match on Thursday, sorry. And on Monday, they're in Premier League action. They take on Gary O'Neill's Bournemouth, and you'll be able to hear that with us at 7:50 on Monday night. 8 o'clock kickoff. Russ Vernon will be commentating. I will be presenting. And also, we'll have Burnley as well against Norwich. That big game at the top of the Championship. We'll have that either in live form or delayed form, and we'll have some Champions League football and some Europa League football as well for you as well. And plenty of good stuff coming up on the TCM in the next couple of months, as I said, as we looked as I had a look there on the monitor at the Brian Clough stand, the beautiful structure was built when Buffy was the manager when they bounded down when they were winning 2 European Cups. He's was a very good man manager, and he'll be looking down on the City ground with a lot of pride, I think, Cloughy. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to, I think with the game being as balanced as it is, I think it'd be wrong of me to start doing Cloughy impressions at this stage. I think if it's a dull game, you can do funny things like that, but not as the game as finely balanced as this. as the cross comes in. A chance here for Alexander Arnold. What a save that is from Henderson. And then Salah can't stick away the rebound. He was off balance and the angle was possibly too acute. But Dean Henderson has really excelled himself in the goal for Liverpool Forest today. And he's certainly a candidate for player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. I'm going to choose a player of the match in about 5 minutes' time. And another fantastic bit of goalkeeping from Henderson. If it wasn't for him, I think Liverpool would be winning this match, I'll be honest. But Forest were adding their luck. They haven't had too much of it this season, admittedly. But they played really well defensively against Brighton in midweek when they got a 0-0 there at the Amex. Not many teams go to the Amex and get a 0-0 to get a clean sheet. Because Brighton, you know what you'll get from them. Good attacking, clean football. And they certainly preach that. Firstly, under Potter now, Dzubi is trying to preach that same principle. But here, back in the game, it's Yates for Forest! Oh, he's put it wide! It's a corner, Alisson Becker saved. Alisson saved from Ryan Yates. Fabinho lost the ball. Yates won it back. He played a 1-2 here with Morgan Gibbs-White. He was onside as he charged through like a rhino, and all he needed to do was keep his head. He hit the target, and Alisson, Nick Pope style, stuck out an arm and whacked it behind the right-hand post for a corner. Forest have had chances on the break to score a second. Nearly 4 minutes to go here at the City Ground, plus stoppage time. Alisson has saved Liverpool for the moment anyway. Corner kick to Forest. 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, including Worrell and Cook and McKenna. Yates is in there, so too Brennan Johnson. Gibbs-White with the corner, looking towards McKenna, who rescues the situation. Can he get the cross back? He can, but it's too close to Alisson, who takes it by his near post. 4 minutes to go. I've got a couple of minutes to just choose a player of the match. I'll choose it on the 90th minute, I think, because the game is so stretched here. It's Oxlade-Chamberlain plays it in, but the brilliant Dean Henderson has caught it magnificently. There's no shortage of candidates for player of the match, really, from Nottingham Forest side. Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper. Steve Cook and Scott McKenna have both had great games at centre-back. Awobi scoring the goal. I mean, if I could choose 11 players of the matches, I would. And I'd give them all to Forest players because they've been absolutely, to a man, outstanding today. But I've got to choose one. And I've got about a couple of minutes to make up my mind. But at the moment, Liverpool are not done, but they've conceded a throw, and Forest will take as much time as it's legally possible within the boundaries. 87 gone, 3 to play. There will be a chunk of stoppage time, and they can't waste too much time because, it's going to be a booking. It's going to be a booking. Going to be a booking, I think, to Sergio Aurier or Joe Worrell? It's Joe Worrell who's picked up the yellow card, but I'm sure Sergio Aurier did the time-wasting routine. Paul Tierney got that slightly wrong. I don't think it was Joe Worrell. I think it was more Sergio Aurier. He had the ball in his hand for a good 30 seconds. Anyway, the ball, Worrell's been booked. I'm hoping let's hope it's not a case. I think it was a case of mistaken identity because it was Aurier that was doing all the time wasting. Anyway, free kick, is it the Forest? No. Liverpool get the front. They're taking it right by the road corner quadrant on the far side. There's no time to waste now for Liverpool. They've got to get this equalising goal and maybe just take a point back to Anfield now. Looks like it's going to be 6 away games from the start of the season without a win. And that is not Jurgen Klopp type. They had a couple of magnificent wins in the week, and it looks as if Liverpool were turning a page, really, in terms of their season. But this is going to be a setback if they were to lose. 2 minutes to play. And there's going to be a free kick here. We'll see this free kick out. Then we'll choose a player of the match. Lodi has been penalised for a foul on Elliott. Referee being surrounded by a couple of Forest players who just need to just shut up at this stage and stop arguing. Free kick given. You're not going to change his mind, Forest. Just get on with it. Shut up and get on with the game. There's still a game to be won. Forest are nearly there. What they don't want is to get disappointed at this stage of proceedings, this late stage of proceedings. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to take the free kick. Forest are taking an eternity to set up a 3-man wall. Set play time now. Three has been booked as well, presumably for arguing to the referee. 1 minute of the 90 remains. Don't worry, I will be choosing the player of the match shortly. We're just going to see this free kick out. It's just been harem scarum all afternoon. It's been one of those games where it's been a privilege to commentate on. Whatever happens today. Be heartbreak for Forest if this goes in now. Will Alexander-Arnold go for it? He's got a very good repertoire for a free kick. He's going to be swinging in there towards Van Dijk, and he's wide. Goal kick. It's been given. Forest survived for the moment anyway. Terrific free kick for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's really made a difference to Liverpool in the final third since coming on. He's been absolutely magnificent. Time for the player of the match, as we see that effort from Van Dijk go wide in the far part right-hand post. It's going to be Dean Henderson for me. Some of the saves he's pulled off in this second half, and in certain extent in the first half. 500 minutes shown by Graham Scott. Not surprising in a lot of ways. I think you want the game to go on, quite honestly. It's one of those games you don't want to end. Player of the match, Dean Henderson for me is going to be the player of the match. The saves he's made in this game have been astronomically brilliant. He may still be required in the stoppage time because you bet your bottom dollar that Liverpool will get a couple of chances, but he's played magnificently well and done really well. So Dean Henderson is my player of the match in association with the commentary services. Well done to him. He wins our supplementary award. Right, back to the game now. We've nearly had a minute of the 5. And I should stress at that point, it's a minimum of. So let me just stress that at this stage. Goal kick to Liverpool. Steve Cooper's men just 4 minutes 10 away potentially, because there could be more time added on at the end of time added on. And that is down to Portier and his discretion. Ball out towards the far side. Jones will chase it and reach it. Uriah in close pursuit of him. And he still holds the ball up well, Curtis Jones. He needs to turn Uriah. He's just sticking to him like glue. Ball played in there. Deflects. It's a Liverpool corner. And now Joe Worrell and co need to mark up like they've never marked up before. Forest so near to a famous, famous victory. They've had so many over Liverpool over the years. Are they about to do it again? Alisson's coming forward. Alisson's going to come forward here. This has got to be one of the last breaks here that Liverpool have got. Andy Robertson to swing it in left-footed. He swings it into the penalty area. Van Dijk! Great save! Alisson goes in, he finds his man! Free kick done out of the Forest! And our player of the match has just pulled off a blinding save! A blinding save and a half! Van Dijk 6 yards out usually means one thing. Goal! Not with this goalkeeper. Our player of the match, Dean Henderson, had just pulled off the save of his life to deny Virgil van Dijk, and then Alisson fouled Yates in the aftermath. And Forest, again, for the moment anyway, survive. Oh my word, what a finish here in the City Ground. What a magnificent finish. Forest hanging on by the barest of margins and fingernails here. What a finish at the City Ground. What a second half it has been. And what a goalkeeper Dean Henderson is. The TV boys are giving Ryan Yates the man of the match. Our player of the match is Dean Henderson. And he's just underlined why I've chosen him as player of the match. That save from Van Dijk will be replayed again, and again in the archives when they show it in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, 40 years' time, or even 100 years' time. That is one of the great saves of the Premier League this season. The man with the cap has just saved Nottingham Forest again. Oh, this is unbelievable. It's one of those magical days where you just think, oh, how privileged are you to do commentary, even on YouTube, for the TCO. It's just one of those days where you think, this is why I enjoy football commentary. This is why we enjoy the game of football. As a neutral, I have been truly and utterly entertained. It's been gripping drama right from the first whistle. We've got 2.5 of the 5 minutes, a minute and a half of the 5 to go. Liverpool still not finishing. They're still attacking. Yates goes in. Good challenge. It will be a Forest roll. There's a Liverpool player, a Forest player over going tumbling there on the far side. Can't tell you who it is. 24, Serge Aurier. They can rake up to 5 substitutions in the 90 minutes these days. I think he collided with a Liverpool player. Yates has had a good game. As I say, you'll get the television award, but as far as I'm concerned, Dean Henderson's been the player of the match. Right break to Seller on that side. 1 minute to go. Liverpool get the throw. They've got to 4 men forward now. They're going to leave it here to, who's it going to be? Joe Gomez. Gomez with the throw then. It's going to be hooked in there. Rory, the lap style from the edge of the 6-yard area on the right-hand side. He throws it in there towards the area. There's a flick on. There's a header. There's a header. And Southampton is tipped away again by Dean Henderson. And there's just no way past this Nottingham Forest keeper this afternoon. It has been one of those games. Hugh Allison going forward again. Robertson winning the second header. And then Salah winning the third. And it went over the top. And Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to take this one now. Allison forward again. Ball comes in, headed away by Forest. And now if they can get the ball here, Allison can be dangerously out of his goal. Robertson chips it in. Allison is in this area and Morgan gets wide. There's an empty goal down the Trent end. It's Brennan Johnson now. Johnson, will he go for the corners or will he go for goal? He's gone for goal! Oh, he's in the post! He's in the post! Oh my word! What a finish! What a finish to this game. It's all happened here. The whistle's gone. The whistle is gone and Forest have done it. Forest have done it in the most dramatic fashion you could ever see all season in Premier League football. The City Ground has gone into raptures. Dean Henderson celebrates when the Nottingham Forest supporters and has to be escorted away by security people. Virgil van Dijk's team have been beaten. Jurgen Klopp's team have been beaten. Now, jig of delight from Jesse Lingard. The big smile on his face. And in all of that, Tyrell Aroni, the former Liverpool man, came up with his third goal in all competitions this season to send the City Ground into raptures. It has been the most amazing day down the banks of the River Trent. And they'll celebrate this victory for as long as they live as Forest fans. It's going to be calm down for them tonight. It's finished here at the City Ground. Amazingly here. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0. What a game of football and what a match it has been. Oh, you'll never get a sensational finish than that. And it's been a privilege. Let me tell you, it has been an absolute privilege to bring it to you here on the TC Hub. Next football we have is Premier League football. We've got West Ham against Bournemouth. Russ Vernon will be your commentator. I will be hosting. Join us at 7:50 on Monday night. And there'll be plenty more EFL Cup, EFL action and Champions in European action in the week as well. But here at the City Ground, it's been a day to remember for Nottingham Forest. Tyrell Aroni got the winning goal in the 55th minute. But then the heroics of Steve Cook, Scott McKenna, Ryan Yates, and our player of the match, Dean Henderson, with some cracking second half saves, a series of them, has given Forest a 1-0 victory. And they're now level on points, albeit second bottom, with Wolverhampton Wanderers and Aston Villa on 9 points. It's been, well, that kickstart their season. As for Liverpool, that is a massive bump in the road if they're going to be title contenders. And at the moment, you can't see that happening. I hope you've enjoyed it today. It's been a magical afternoon by the banks of the River Trent. We'll see you again on Monday. But for me, JB, on a day like Nottingham Forest shocked Liverpool by 1 goal to 0, I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.